Good morning, everyone. My name is Abraham Maslow. I was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1908, and I was the first of seven children. My parents were Russian immigrants, and as my father's business improved, me and my family moved out of the slums and into a lower middle class neighborhood. I was the only one Jewish boy in the neighborhood, and many times I was a victim of anti Semitism. Um, Many times I felt very embarrassed about my physical appearance, so I felt very isolated, friendless, and lonely being a kid. Therefore, I ended up spending a lot of time in libraries, reading, and I could say that books were my best friends. I was not close to either one of my parents. I I was fond of my father, but I was very scared of him at the same time. And about my mother, what can I say? I believe that she was schizophrenic. She always seemed to favor my youngest brother and sisters, and I was always the victim of jokes and blame, and it was always my fault, no matter what happened. And I can recall, just to give you an idea of what she was like, is that one time I found two stray cats and I brought them home so they could stay with the family. And she got so mad at it that she ended up like smashing both cats' heads against the wall and killing them. So now you can relate to me and how I was feeling. I was never close to her, and never, we never really had a relationship. I did not even attend her funeral. I was very close to her brother. My uncle was the one that provided for me and motivated me and was there for me. And I think it's thanks to him that I was able to develop some sort of like mental stability. But I never really felt like my life really begun until I got married and I started studying at the University of Wisconsin. That's when I discovered John Watson and started being interested on behaviorism. Um, I thought it was a very practical way of improving society. Um, I did a lot of research concerned with sexual and dominance characteristics of monkeys. And in 1934, I received a PhD, and that's when we returned to New York. New York was the happening place. There were a lot of European psychologists and psychiatrists that had moved to America, escaping from the Nazis. And I was very influenced by Eric Fromm and Karen Horney and Alfred Adler, but also by this very impressive anthropologist, Ruth Benedict. She was the one who inspired me with a lot of optimism about the potentialities of society and humankind. Um, these were one of the many factors that drew me away from behaviorism and towards motivation. Um, Also, the World War II was beginning to happen, and I really needed to believe that humankind was here for a deeper meaning, not just for hate and to kill each other and to promote war. Um, Another event that really sent me to search for more answer was the birth of my first daughter. I sort of felt that the experimentation with rats and primates did not prepare me for the mystery of becoming a father and having a child in my hands. There were like so many other things that I started um, to wonder. Um, what I mainly wanted to understand is what truly motivates people. I always saw human beings as interested on growing rather than simply restoring balance and avoid frustration. I always view human beings as wanting animals, desiring things, and the moment we meet one desire, we jump on to the next one, and that's what drives lives forward. Um, what I believe that distinguishes my work from other humanists like Carl Rogers or Eric Fromm is that I propose a model of how happy, healthy, well-functioning people behaves. and these are based on concrete observations of real people rather than formulating an ideal requirement. I propose a simple and intuitive, appealing theory of motivation, which explains where such self-actualizing personality comes from. Um, I always see human behavior being motivated by a basic set of needs. Basically, there are like two principles. One is that once a need is met, it's no longer active. And the other principle is that a lower need is more urgent and important in the sense that it must be met or satisfied before a higher need can take over control. In the drive to self actualize, individuals move forward towards growth, happiness, and satisfaction. I developed the concept of motivation, referring to the reduction of tension by satisfying deficit states, and these entail D needs or deficiency needs, which refer to the organism requirements to physiological survival, such as food, sex, rest, fresh water, and so on. Motivation and deficiency needs are very powerful determinants of behavior. Now, another concept that I develop is the one of meta-motivation that refers to growth tendencies in humankind, and they also refer to striving beyond the needs of basic needs to reaching one personal potential. Meta motivation entailed B needs or being needs that arise out of the person's drive to self actualize and fulfill their inherent ultimate potential. They enhance life. And of course, meta motivation and deficiency needs take precedence over meta motivation and B needs. But it's part of the theory that I had been developed. In 1970, I proposed the hierarchy of needs theory, where I basically, in a pyramid form, I established the physiological needs as being at the very bottom of the pyramid. And basically, this is physical survival that entails food, drink, sleep, sex, oxygen, and shelter. Second comes the safety needs that refers to the organism requirements for an orderly, stable, and predictable world. Next come the belonging and love needs, and those refer to human beings seeking affectionate and intimate relationships with other people, being part of other groups. Next come the self-esteem needs that they are basically subdivided in two other forms. One is self-esteem, respect for the self, that has to deal with competence, confidence, mastery, achievement, independence, freedom. And other one is respect from others, entailing recognition, acceptance, status, and appreciation. And last but not least, at the top of the pyramid come the self-actualizing needs that vary significantly from person to person, referring to fulfilling one highest potential. These are needs to know, needs to understand. I believe that what a man can be, he must be. He must work towards getting there. This quotation is the basis for my theory of self-actualization. I describe this level as the desire to accomplish everything that one can, to become the most that one can be. I wanted to finish up my presentation with the concept of a peak experience, which is an experience that is found in many self-actualizers. This refers to an intensification of any experience to the degree that there is a loss of transcendence of the self. They're not necessarily related to mystical or religious events. They can also be provoked by a secular experience, such as viewing artwork or reaching sexual climax or performing at the highest physical level during certain activities. During a peak experience, people experience not only an expansion of the self, but also a sense of unity and meaningfulness in life. I believe that all human beings, not only self-actualizers, are potential peakers. Coming back to my hierarchy of needs theories, it is one of the most references motivational theories in scholarly and management literature. I did not really provide any research findings to support my theory, and there's very little that exists today. Still, because it makes so much common sense and because it is so easy to understand, explain, and use, it has continued to be applied in different organizational settings. My model has helped many bosses and many leaders to better understand how to create more ideal workplace conditions that would satisfy employee needs, and putting a lot of more emphasis on intrinsic needs that would better satisfy the the employees that work for you. I hope this helped understanding my theory a little bit, and have a wonderful day. Bye.